Hey guys, this is Alex Owari from ONG Tax and Accounting Services. So in this video, we're going to talk about Amazon's new policy that's requiring sellers to have product liability insurance or insurance in general. We'll also talk about foreign sellers and the need for US LLCs and the dreaded tax interview that foreign sellers go through after getting their LLC. So let me dive straight into things and introduce myself a little bit. My name is Alex Owari. I'm a CPA at ONG Tax and Accounting Services. I'm licensed in Massachusetts and also licensed in Colorado. My firm specializes heavily in helping foreign sellers who have US LLCs or US corporation or US multiple member LLCs. We have also helped a lot of foreign sellers who are unable to navigate the Amazon system. We've helped them successfully to navigate the Amazon system, especially when it comes to completing their tax interviews on Amazon. All right, so we'll dive straight into the new Amazon requirement, which is requiring sellers to have product liability insurance or insurance in general. But to take you through this process, I think it all makes sense if we go directly into the Amazon Seller Central account to see what's happening within Amazon. So I know there's a lot of information out there for foreign sellers in terms of the Amazon new policy of insurance, requiring you to have insurance. Now, I log into my seller account and I could see that, Amazon is not playing with this. Amazon is really serious with this insurance requirement. And whenever I tell you Amazon is serious, they are serious because they have even provided 3 accelerators. We call them Amazon Insurance Accelerator. Now, this is like a marketplace you can get your insurance, okay? Now, Amazon knows that this is going to be a problem for most sellers and people are going to complain that I don't know where to get insurance. But so they've provided you these 3 options here. Now, you're not required to use them, but just in case, you have no other option, you can come here and then pick the best insurance company and get your quote through them. Now, the problem here is that most of these insurance accelerators or this marketplace where you get your quote from, if you are a foreign seller, you're selling in your own name or you're selling through a foreign corporation, these companies usually will not insure you, probably because it's a foreign company and they're not sure about the risk involved. And so what they are requiring what you guys to do is to form either US LLCs or corporations, and then you use those entities to kind of use it to get the product liability insurance or the insurance that Amazon is requiring. All right, so I dive deep into the requirement a little bit and I go in here and I see, for as a tax person, what really, was a little bit catchy for me or what caught my eye was the fact that Amazon said that your insured name must match the legal entity name that's provided on Amazon, right? So what is your legal entity name? Now, if you want to know what your legal entity name as it's currently registered on Amazon, you can easily click this link directly from your Seller Central on Amazon to see what your legal name is. Now, in my case, I've put a legal name here, which is US LLC. So whatever shows here for you on your dashboard, this is going to be your legal entity name. Okay. Now, what Amazon is doing, it's telling you that it needs the information on the insurance document to be the same information as it shows on here. So let's go back into the insurance document again. And then we will look at the second step, which talks about the proof of insurance. Now, as you can see from here, Amazon, after you've obtained the insurance, Amazon requires you to provide the name of the insurance provider. It also requires you to provide the name of the insured and the name of the insured. And usually when you click on the I, the I link here or the I symbol here, it's going to tell you, it's going to explain things for you a little bit. But it should be the name, that Amazon is stating must match the legal entity name. So I know that some of you foreign sellers are forming US LLCs to get this insurance. So in your case, Your US LLC is the insured. So that's the company that's going to show here. Okay. And then you put in your policy number and then the policy start date and the policy end date. So with this, background, I'm going to show you a sample of how most US insurance documents looks like. So this is how a basic or a standard insurance document looks like, right? When you get your insurance, whether it's from Hiscox or Accord or any other marketplace, it's going to show you, who the insurer is. The insurer is basically who is taking the risk of insuring you. And then the insured is going to be your company or your LLC that you formed. And then I think additionally, Amazon requires you to put them on here. You put Amazon's name and the address on there as additional insured. So all the instructions on the Amazon website I show you on your dashboard. And you can basically, when you get in touch with an insurance agent, you can basically paste all of what Amazon needs for you to, set up your insurance. So I look at this insurance document and in the middle, you could see what's being covered, right? So for example, all the things that's being covered is on here for this company in general. For example, when you look at the product liability insurance, it looks like they are covered for about 2 million. And so yours is probably going to be something different from this one, but on a general concept, this is how, certificate of insurance or proof of insurance looks like. So when you get it, your policy number is going to be here, your policy effective date and the ending date. And that's the same information you would use to go into Amazon and put in information. And then once you're done, you upload your insurance document that you get from the insurance company. And we got this from the Securities and Exchange Commission. So you, as a public companies, have so many documents that are with the Securities and Exchange Commission. And whenever you need something to check on, what document you want to check, you can always go on the Securities and Exchange Commission to see how big companies are doing their stuff. So once you're selling, in the past, you were selling as a non-resident alien or you're selling as a foreign corporation. And once you've obtained your insurance document, because Amazon requires your insurance document to be the same as the legal name that's showing on here, most of you have to go through the tax interview again. So when you're here, you go into update tax interview, you go to retake interview. And for those of you that have US LLCs, right, it's going to ask you, are you an individual? Of course, if you're a non-resident alien, yes, you're an individual. And so you would check individual. And even Amazon explains that if you own a single member LLC, you should still check individual. Okay. So you're going to check individual here. And then for US tax purposes, are you a US person? Of course, if you live in a foreign country, you're a non-resident alien, you're not a US person. Okay. Some people get confused. And the fact that you have a US LLC does not make you a US resident. You're always going to be a foreign person. The LLC is just what we call a disregarded entity or a flow-through entity. It's disregarded for tax purposes. And so when you're certifying here, you certify in your own name. You do not certify as, a US person. So we go through the interview. So let's just say that the company that you formed is USA LLC. So you're going to put in the USA LLC here, right? And it's going to ask you for your country of citizenship. Now, your country of citizenship, in this case, let's assume you're from Canada. That is where your citizenship is. That's where you're residing. And so that's what you put on here. Okay. Now, next step is you go through the address. And if your address is in Canada, you basically state where your permanent address is. And you have to, if you click on the I, it tells you what permanent address is, permanent resident address is. So you just complete it, right? Now, I know some of you is asking me, why do I have to put my country of citizenship in Canada when you've put the LLC's name here? Shouldn't it be in my own personal name? You may be right, but this is not what Amazon wants, because whatever name you put here should be the name that should show on your insurance document. Okay. So if you put your own name here, that's what's going to show on the Amazon legal entity side after you finish with the interview. And that's basically what Amazon it's saying that they don't want. They want to make sure that the name that you have on the insurance document is the same name that shows as a legal entity. Okay. So if you have a US LLC, you type in the US LLC name here. And then the next thing is you go to the address. And then the country of citizenship, as I've already told you, your USA LLC is not a citizen of US. Your LLC maintains its citizenship and residency at where you are currently located, where your permanent address is. Yeah, and we can always back up that argument of where the LLC citizenship is. I mean, several courts in the appeals court in the US have stated that the citizenship of LLCs in general is determined by the citizenship of its members, okay? So if you form an LLC here, your LLC is a resident of Canada, wherever you are. So we're just using Canada as an example. You may be in China or Germany, depending on which country you're resident and citizen of, your LLC retain the same attributes. All right, so once you put in all your address, if your permanent address is the same as your mailing address, you state that, and then you move on, continue. And then over here, you could just certify, type in your own name here. Now, you're going to get an error. It's more likely you will get an error because the name here does not match the name here. So, but let me still do it and show you how it goes. See, I got an error here because I did not confirm my address. Okay. I also got a second error here because they want to see the name that's showing on here as the same name that signs it. So in this case, I'm going to use the USA LLC to sign it. Okay. So you preview it. Now everything looks good. And also when you're signing these forms or when you're ready to submit, make sure that your information, all this information are accurate. So for example, it says that I'm individual, that's the beneficial owner, and that's correct. Yes, you're a non-resident alien. And then number 2, it says the person name on line 1 on this form is not a US person. So line 1, your LLC is really not a US person, okay? The fact that you have an LLC in the US does not make your LLC a US person. As I've told you, an LLC is always disregarded. It's a flow through. It's just a division or a branch of you. So your LLC maintains its citizenship or its residency where you're located, okay? So in this case, the person that's entered on line 1 is not a US person. 3, the income to which this form relates is not effectively connected with the conduct of US trade or business. Now, if you don't have any offices here in the US, you don't have any employees, you don't have any physical location, you don't travel into the US yourself to do any business, then your income is not considered to be, income that's conducted through US trade or business. Number 4 talks about the person on line 1 on this form is a resident of a treaty country listed in line 9. Now, you don't have to be from a treaty country to complete this W8BEN, but assuming you are, you still can be able to complete this form. And then it goes on, it just states all the normal declarations. But in general, if you're a foreign person, you're not considered to be conducting business in the US and you're not a US person, then you complete W8BEN. Do not complete the form as a US person. You complete it as a foreign person. So once you're done, you submit the form. For those of you that, knows more about Amazon, you know that when you're going to an Amazon interview and this green stuff checks out for you, that means you're good. Everything looks good. So now you go in and look at the results, right? You exit the interview and you can see that everything looks green. You're good and you've properly certified as a foreign person. Your legal business name, as it shows on the insurance document, is going to be your USA LLC, as it will show you on your insurance document. So whenever you're ready, you just click on settings. You go to the business insurance side. You go through the upload proof of insurance. And when you have your insurance document ready, You put in the insurance provider name, name of the insured, policy number, policy start date, policy end date, and then you actually, upload the document. Now, this has made it so easy, okay? And I hope this helps you out for those non-resident aliens that have recently just formed a US LLC and you're going through the tax interview. Hey guys, so before we go, let's put out some few disclaimers out there. So this video was purposefully made for non-resident aliens with US single member LLC, okay? So if you have an LLC that has elected to be a corporation, if you have a foreign corporation that owns the US LLC, or you have a multiple member LLC, which is also called a partnership, this does not apply to you. Number two, I would also say that proceed with caution, because changing anything on Amazon could be a problem. Sometimes, your account could be suspended or you could be under review if you're not doing it correctly. So always proceed with caution when you're changing anything on Amazon. Number three, this should not be construed as a tax advice. This is for educational purposes only. So if you need a tax advice, please always reach out to a competent tax attorney or an international tax CPA to help you out. You could also reach out to Amazon if you're having problems with navigating, the tax interview or anything like that. Now, for those of you that have a foreign corporation that owns the US LLC and you're trying to set up tax interview, it's a very complicated process. So I would advise that you reach out to me directly and then we can schedule some time, walk you through the process. I will use my Seller Central dashboard to show you different scenarios on how yours is going to play out. If you also want to form a US LLC, for the purpose of obtaining this insurance, I'm always here to assist you. We'll help you form the LLC. We'll give you an address if you need one. We will be your registered agent. And then we'll also, help you with your tax filing issues or any advisory issues that you have. So if you have any questions, forming an LLC, preparing a tax return, getting a tax advice, feel free to reach out to us by using the email in the link below. So I'll see you guys later in the next episode or the next series of YouTube videos that we'll be producing. So like, share, and subscribe, and then we'll talk to you on the other side. Bye for now.